This week from GNC Week in Review, powered by GeekNewsCentral.com. Microsoft buys Activision for billions. Apple ballooned its market share in the smartphone market. And the CEO of Airbnb is living in Airbnb. Those are some of the tech news stories from this week. Plus, we'll recap of all went down at CES 2022. And it's Friday, January 21st, 2022. My name is Kirk Corliss.
And I'm Scott Ertz, and I'm jamming out to this music.
And this is episode 100 of GNC Week in Review podcast, proud partner of the Tech Podcast Network. If it's tech, it's here. Thank you so much for tuning in for this week's episode. We are streaming live on gncweekly.com/live. So please be sure to say hello and chat or comment. Also, be sure to like and subscribe to the GNCWIR channel on YouTube. If you missed the live video, you can always catch the replay later. If you are a new listener, please be sure to subscribe to podcasts where you can find in a right-hand side column at gncweekly.com, be it Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, or your favorite podcast app. If you have a comment, be it on social media or email, and those links can be found at gncweekly.com/connect. So we are back after a much needed break and CES. We're going to go over that in a little bit. And just a couple things, what you're hearing right now, if you're listening on the audio, there's some music that StreamYard, I love StreamYard. So they had some music to our repertoire of things we can do, which I totally dig. So what you're hearing now, I think this is pretty cool.
I'm loving this. This music is wild.
I am too. It's pretty cool. So yeah, I figure, we don't have a logo yet. We promise we're going to have the logo and intro video soon, probably in the next couple of weeks. So we kind of dig on that. So there's going to be little changes incrementally, little by little, with our format. The format's going to be the same. The breakdown of the week's tech news and the other cool stuff. And speaking of cool stuff, we're going to get that a little bit later because it's going to be a little bit of a giant episode somewhat, because we want to break down what happened with CES over the last 3 weeks ago. And we'll get into episode 100, how it came to be, things like that, and a really cool contest or giveaway, So you definitely don't want to miss out. Okay. So our last episode on December 19th, we were all excited for CES, big plans. We're going to do interviews, on-the-floor interviews. I was going to do behind-the-scenes stuff, head over to Ricoh Park. But alas, a lot of companies pulled out. Google stepped out, bowed out. T-Mobile bowed out. Microsoft bailed out. So there was a lot of... So there were some companies that pulled out. So we weren't sure what was going to happen. And then little by little, we weren't sure what our cover is going to do. So basically we're going to break things down, what happened up until day one. Well, yeah, day one. So we weren't sure about, we were going to do it live, and then other companies pulled out. And then Scott's crew will be in Vegas, and due to medical reasons, and you guys pulled out.
Yeah.
So
it wasn't what we wanted to do.
Right. So basically we were concerned on, we were toying about virtual completely, or we're doing it live. I was already booked for the flight. Todd was already booked. I got our hotels and everything. So we were deciding what we're going to do. So what we're going to decide to do was half live. Half in Vegas at the broadcast tower that we're at in 2020. And rest of the morning, which would be from 9 to 1, and then from 1 to 5 Eastern, it was going to be remote via Scott's studio in Florida. So we were unsure what was going to happen, and guests were bailing out, and then we were switching schedules around. And then we were unsure about a studio setup. So at the last minute, Chris Jordan, who was our guest on our last episode, on our end of year episode, came into the clutch, provided all the gear. And let me tell you, the gear that he had was like, if you guys seen it, well, you probably saw it from a live blog that I posted and some photos. He had a massive setup, and he did it pretty much, him and his producer, cameraman / producer, Maurice, basically hooked everything up. So it was weird to do our show because we were unsure, and also too, with me being a producer there and, slash TD, it was really like challenging because I had to have my head on a swivel. So I want to show you guys, we'll break things down, and the first 2 days was media days. And it was CS unveiled on Monday, showstoppers on Tuesday. So I'm going to show you what I saw now on at CES unveiled. This is where it's all media only, and I want to show you guys my little walkthrough. And this space was. Now, normally, when you guys, if you're watching live right now, and I'm going to explain on the audio for the audio listeners, this is at Mandalay Bay. And at Mandalay Bay, this is, again, a CS unveil. There is exhibitors over between 100 to 150 plus exhibitors.
Mm-hmm.
Now, as you can see, bear in mind that everything was literally spaced out for COVID protocols. They had to wear masks and everything like that. There was about, from my count, about maybe 50 exhibitors, maybe 50, possibly 100. Not a lot of things that were there that I saw interesting. There was a few that I did that I have to offload video. I did a couple of off the cuff interviews with different companies. So I kept the audio off because, excuse my my commentary. And the first video I shot live, I was in portrait mode, which I don't like portrait mode, so I had to open up a new stream and put it on landscape so you guys can all see. So yeah, this was like really. There wasn't a lot of companies. There was companies there, but nothing really interesting. And I apologize for the camera shaking. I apologize because I didn't have my my stick with me, so I apologize for the shaking. So don't get dizzy or anything or sick. So yeah, it wasn't that spectacular to see. It was about maybe. Yeah, it was really a disappointment in my eyes from what I can see.
I'm going to tell you, the first thing I noticed wasn't the fact that the tables are so far apart,
mm-hmm.
which of course they are.
Yeah.
It's the fact that under normal circumstances at Unveiled, those little white tables for people who are watching,
mm-hmm.
those little white tables that are in the center,
mm-hmm.
you usually have to throw elbows to be able to get to one of those.
Exactly, yeah.
And almost all of them are empty in this video.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this was, they, you not only have to elbow a table, it was like that. So that was Wednesday night for CS Unveiled. Now I'm going to show you. Now this is the following night. This is
Showstoppers.
Tuesday night Showstoppers. This was packed. This is at the Wynn. This is at the Wynn hotel. This had over 80 exhibitors, and
which is still low.
Yeah, it was, but it was still packed though. It was still packed. So one of the things I'm going to show you here, I did a quick interview on the fly, and this is part of the giveaway. I'm going to give you a spoiler right now with our giveaway. There's a free year of this product or a service called RoboForm. Basically, what this is to keep track of your passwords and how to fill out your forms.
All right, so I'm not.
I'm back. Okay, there we go. Okay, so I apologize. I lost my connection, so I apologize for those. So let's try this again. Can you hear me?
I was trying to figure out if it was my fault.
No, it was me. It
Okay.
wasn't me.
Well, then, for those watching live, I apologize for going silent because I assumed, as it usually is, that it was my fault.
No, it was mine. No, I didn't. I was watching because usually I keep an eye on my internet connection. For some reason, it dropped out, and I apologize. So, all right. So let me try
Interesting
this
that
again.
we've traded places. Look what they just gave us the ability to do.
I missed
You didn't
it.
used to be able to do that. I can swap us.
Ooh,
StreamYard.
Cool. See, this is why we love StreamYard.
Yes.
Okay, so let's try this again.
Hello to Port Charlotte.
Hello.
I apologize.
Numero Studio, watching from Port Charlotte. Hello, how you doing? Thanks for tuning into the live to the podcast and episode. Thank you so much. We appreciate it. Okay, so let's try this again. So, all right.
All right. Well, I'm going to continue to talk because now I'm a little convinced that it's not my fault. Hey, there's a Kirk.
Yep, here's me. Okay, so all right. So can you hear the audio or no?
Oh yeah, it definitely sounded like Showstoppers. Oh, Kirk.
This about password managers. I know there's a lot of password managers. Hey, how you doing? Can someone? Well, I'm shooting live right now. So can someone talk a little bit about the company, how it's about?
This is pre-recorded, by the way. So not wrong.
All right. So obviously something is up with Kirk's internet tonight that whenever he's trying to share his screen, everything goes sideways.
Yeah. Let me
so
all right.
Yeah.
I apologize. Yeah, this is really
sharing your screen's not working tonight, bud.
All right. Well, let me see what I can try without the audio. Let me see if I can try without the audio and try it again here. Hang on 1 second. Okay, hold on a second. I had it timed perfectly, and I'm so. See, this is what happens. This is what happens when we're live, and there's sometimes right, and there's sometimes where okay, so I'm gonna not put the audio on here. Can you still hear me and see me?
Yes.
Okay, cool. Okay.
This seems to be working pretty solidly.
Yeah, so we're not gonna do the audio. Okay, so basically
if you go over to our YouTube channel, the GNC Week in Review YouTube channel, you'll be able to see and listen to the interview.
Yeah. Okay, so basically he's showing off how to fill out, no need to worry about filling out these passwords and usernames and all that stuff. So he was showing off this product, and I was going to mention this because there's a spoiler alert. I have with swag. This is again a spoiler, so just keep this in mind. You're going to get a 1 year free, one free year of this service, not that we're giving away. So just keep that in mind because there's a really cool giveaway. So this is only a hint about this. So keep tuned on that. So he's showing off the service, and I don't want to put the audio up because if I put the audio up, I'm going to lose it again. So, yeah, this is him showing off the service, and we're going to fast this forward a little bit. And there's some other products here. This is from Iris, I believe. There's a lot of this is media only. Press only, so these companies shows off their wares and their services, their apps, their products, and it was packed. And the difference between CS Unveiled is night and day because this place was super packed. And the best part, and Scott and I agreed on, is the food. Free drinks. The food is phenomenal. and I had it was, and this is it's a product called Smart Witness. This I had an interview with, again, I had did a brief interview. There's an elevator pitch on what the product is, when and how it came about, the price, price and everything like that. So this is, I believe, this is a I think it's a I think it's a webcam, not a webcam, but a
Dash cam.
dash cam. Excuse me. Right.
I'm on their website.
Oh, okay. Okay.
I got your back.
Cool. Thank you.
So dash cams are great. I've
Mhm.
seen a lot of really interesting dash cams, and what I'm looking at here suggests that this might be like right up there with some of my favorites.
Yeah, this is, they also had to do with AI as well. And he was showing off the and also too, when you go to these exhibitors, they gave out swag, and I was only there for about maybe a half hour. So when the giveaways, I got swag, which we're gonna discuss that in a little bit, because some of that stuff is really cool, including some stuff that's really like a hot commodity right now. So yeah, this was all. So this is all. Yeah, this is AI. I didn't. And if you watch the pre-recorded, it was live. It'll give you the price and all that on when it's available. And a lot of these products, some of these products aren't going to come, may or may not come out this year. Some will come out this quarter. Some may come out in second or third quarter.
And in fairness, we're always very open about this. Some of them will never make it to market.
Exactly, including one that I'll show you in a little bit. I just want to give you. There's a few highlights. There are a few highlights I want to show you guys. Now, again, if you are listening to audio, we're trying to describe. We're going to describe this best we can on our audio feed.
Looks like this Smart Witness product is designed for like fleet management.
Okay,
which is really cool. I'm enjoying this.
Okay, well now I'm going to stop this real quick here. I'm going to preface this. I'm going to stop this. Okay, so you see this gentleman, if you're watching live, and I'm going to give this to break down to the audio listeners. There's a gentleman. Now, as I walked away, I was heading over to the right where we saw the food table. This gentleman,
the shoulder guy there,
the guy in the shoulder, right?
Okay.
He asked me, "Oh, you didn't come over and hear about my product?" I'm like, "Oh, okay." Now, I'm going to let's play. And I introduced who I was. I'm with GNC Week in Review, and this product, and I'm going to be as family safe as I possibly can. This is a patch to where
Yep.
Where, let's put it this way, to prevent gentlemen from pulling their trigger a little too early. So, and this is another reason why I'm not putting the audio, not necessarily because of the internet connection, but this is a family safe podcast.
Yes.
And so, and I don't want us getting pulled off TPN or Todd pulling me off. So when he was talking about his product, now when he said that, Scott, I just like completely blanked out. I heard what he said.
You got to be careful when I'm drinking.
I was listening to everything he said. Don't get me wrong. I was paying attention, but I just completely blanked out when he said those words. And if you know the different words for pulling your trigger, don't put it in the chat.
Yes, please. Yes, please.
I won't display it, but we
don't yet have Nightbot set up on YouTube for our chat moderation. So yes, please keep that to yourself.
Right.
That is coming soon. It's not there right now.
Right. So, and then he asked me, will people watch it? And I said, yeah, there's some people who watch it. And he asked me, about.
I like that you're doing the slow back away.
Yeah, I did.
Like, I'm gonna
I
keep
had
going
to.
this way.
I did, and he was asking me
Bye.
some questions.
Bye.
He was asking me some questions on who will watch it and what. And mind you, TPN is not. This is not our
Children. Children are gonna watch this. Go back to your table, buddy.
right. And I was trying so hard to like answer his questions. And I when I was I was trying to find mute, put it on mute because he was asking about.
Oh, I love that idea.
I was gonna put it on mute, but I was so like listening to him and everything like that. And I said there are people watching it, and when you go to Showstoppers, you have a badge, and with the Showstoppers, you have a separate badge, and it has your name and who you represent. And I was trying so hard to like get away from him after that.
Oh.
Okay, so yeah, this is like and when we talk about tables, these tables right here, there were some that were spread out, some were all close together. So I want to show you.
Now, also, normally you got to throw elbows to get one of those tables. It does look like it was calm enough that you could probably have scoped and snagged a table without having to throw elbows, but
right.
Not so much that they were just all empty like the last one, like unveiled.
Right.
Hey,
Yeah,
Piku, they were on our show.
Yep, they were.
Their video published today, in fact.
Woohoo! All right.
Yeah. So if you go to techpodcast.com, you can see that right now.
Yep.
That was one of my picks of the show right now, as far as I'm concerned. I've been all the way through day 1 and halfway through day 2, rewatching, and Piku is still one of my picks of the show.
Yeah, I'm still going over to the.
There's Yubiki.
Yep.
Good friends of ours. I have one just out of reach right now.
I'm sure you do.
Over there. I love my Yubiki. For those who don't know and haven't seen our interviews from the past, adding biometric security to like websites and stuff. You can secure your Microsoft account and your Google account all with this little fingerprint authentication. So 2-factor authentication without having to get a text to your phone number all the time.
Yeah, so let me see.
It's fabulous. I think more people should be using YubiKeys. I'm just going to say it. They're not a sponsor. They're not a nothing.
Right.
I mean, I am wearing a partner brand tonight, but YubiKey is not. And I 100% support them and what they're up to.
Okay, so there's a couple electric bikes that were there.
Yeah, they're becoming more and more popular. I liked the electric snow bike we had on the show, the moon bikes.
Yeah, that's one of my picks for.
That was one of my wild.
Picks. That was one of my picks for the one of my picks.
I went and compared its price while I was doing the write-up. I went and compared its price to that of like a regular snowmobile. It was way less.
Okay.
And way cooler.
All right. So if you're listening on audio, I'm just showing the video.
Walking the show floor.
Walking the show floor. Right. This is my whole plan was, our plan, with Scott and with and everybody to do interviews and what have you.
Ideally, we were going to take one of our Mevos around.
Yeah.
And be able to do it with a nice quality camera that's got stabilization built in and all. Obviously, that didn't happen because they're all still here.
Right. So basically I was trying to think of ways to get coverage out, and also
this is way bigger than way better populated than I expected it to be.
Me too. I was pleasant, but let me tell you, when you go to the Wynn and they moved it to a different ballroom, it's a hike to get from the front entrance. It's a good haul. It's a good hike to get to this ballroom. It was insane. And I didn't realize, because I had my coat on and my gear and everything like that, there was a code check right over here that I totally missed until last minute, because I was sweating my ass off when I was there.
Whoopsies.
Yeah. And they were showing off this device, I guess, to how to remove strain from standing. Yeah. So yeah, my whole goal. So basically, I'm thinking myself, I'm going to try to incorporate as much coverage as I can for this channel, but also for TPN as a whole. So I was trying my very best, and I also posted photos on the live blog of some photos and video of live blog because I have. And this is from the events. So, and also walk through with Todd on the to Central Hall and through North Hall, Central Hall, and then West Hall. So this right here, this is
I'm
AI.
so glad you got to see West Hall.
It was okay. Well, I'll tell you about that in a second. So this is an AI powered baby sleep trainer. So if a baby cries, this sensor can read if the baby's hungry, angry, and they can read off of that and tell the parent, what to do next.
Interesting.
Yeah, this was, and now, by the way, this product right here is only available in Japan. They're trying to get,
of course,
they're trying to get it coming to the United States. It's not available yet. So this product right here, it's not available yet. It's not available in the States. It's only available in Japan. So as I said, we talked about before, some of these products may or may not come out or at all. This, I don't think, is going to come to the States. So, and I don't want to play the audio on this because, again, it's going to screw up the signal and everything like that. And I apologize for the camera because my focus was not great. It'll read off like how the baby's feeling or crying. And this whole area.
There's also an interesting flicker because it's an LED screen instead of an LCD screen.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So no amount of trying to focus it correctly was going to do anything about that.
Yeah. I was just trying to show the best I could under the circumstances here.
It's the shutter screen, shutter speed.
Well, I have a
we
Google
actually
Pixel
had a
Pro.
whole fun conversation about that here in our remote studio during the live show, because when Kono was on, we were like, oh no, it was Showcase PC. He's like, if you go to our site and look at the videos, you can ignore the flicker because it's not like that in real life. And we're like, yeah, but you could have just changed your shutter speed and filmed it correctly, and then nobody would have seen it. But that's okay.
Right. So and we'll dive in that in a second because it's a funny story what happened on day 2. But yeah, so this whole back area here, and let's see if I can fast forward a little bit here. That whole back area was all Japanese, I went too far. Was all Japanese companies on this whole entire back wall from here all the way back here. I'm gonna see if I can let me see if I can play a little bit here. Yeah. So yeah, this was this whole back area was all Japanese companies, and this was Abbott, and we all know about Abbott. And this is I can't remember the
was Costello there as well?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's a joke that's going to go over a lot of our viewers' heads.
Yeah,
that's okay.
That's okay. That's okay. Yeah. So there's a lot of products that were related to defeating coronavirus.
Of course. I expected nothing less.
Yeah, there was a few around. There was. Well, I'm not gonna play this all the way through, but I wanted to show you one other one in a second. So they were offering. This company was offering their earbuds, and there's a lot of companies that we get or get pitched to us is earbuds. So I had an interview with this gentleman from Irigo, and he was showing off their latest their earbuds. And he was looking at my badge. So when these exhibitors look at your badge, they want to know who you're from. Yeah. So I was representing obviously GNC We Can Review, but also Geek News Central because I was producer for the blog. So the live blog. So I had, but on my badge, I had GNC, Geek News Central, and GNC Week in Review. So, so he was.
My badge has so many things on it that
I know, right?
people get confused.
Right.
Steve's been putting, it's like Plughead /F5 Live /Tech Podcast Network.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I think they had to make the badges bigger for me.
Yeah.
Based on what Steve puts in there now.
Right. So he was showing off. I don't know if I can. So I can. Did he show me the? Okay. I don't think he did. Oh, he did. Okay. Yeah. So he's showing off the earbuds there. And let me see.
YouTube scrubbing is just the worst.
I know. Yeah. So this product right here, from Sereno, this is where fighting coronavirus, and it's I can't remember. I can't remember exactly what the product was about, but it's supposed to this product here is supposed to blast neurons or what have you. I can't remember exactly what it was off the top of my head.
Hopefully not neurons.
No. I can't remember.
Here's some brain energy. No thanks.
Where it fights coronavirus and in the air or something like that, and I can't remember exactly, but you'll see in a second. Hopefully, at least if I can, where it powers a light bulb that he showed right here.
Oh,
I was like,
no part of that is terrifying,
right?
Here, look how safe it is. I'll put a light bulb in front of it and it will turn on. What?
Yeah, so I don't know. I don't know. Again, if you watch the replay, I don't know the price. I don't know the availability. I think you said the second quarter of this year, I believe. Don't quote me.
But I want to.
Yeah. Neutralizes coronavirus. So let me just do one more. And this is, I'm also going to give a this is going to be okay. So this is from, and this is going to be my last hint for the giveaway and also the swag. So this is from Pazio, and this is a charger where it blocks. If you put this in your charger, if you have an iPhone or Android device, if you put it in a charger, the microphone camera is on. So when you put your phone in a charger, he's going to show it in a second or two, hopefully. It shuts off the recorder, the microphone and recording. So if you say, "Hey Siri" or "Hey Google," and hopefully none of my devices went off. Mine did.
Hopefully everybody's did.
If that happened, I apologize. So when you plug in the iPhone or Android device, and if you do the wake word, it won't respond. So for the content, for the giveaway that we're doing for our 100th episode, I have a stress reliever in shape of this device.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
So two things that are interesting about this. One, they have the Tom's Guide logo on their website. And second, they have a tagline on here that says, "Dock it, block it, charge it."
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So this one, I think he said it's available now. And you can order on their site.
I think Marlo talked about this on National Tech Day.
I'm not sure.
Because there's one about the smart speaker that'll get the smart speaker to shut up.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm looking at it on here, and Marlo talked about something like that. But I also feel like the thing he talked about was different than this. So maybe not. I don't know. Never mind. Ignore me.
Okay.
Ignore me.
Okay. So yeah, when I happened to grab one of these. So again, with these exhibitors, they give out swag, and that's the one I'm giving away. So they give like a lot of swag. So I'll go over all the stuff that I try to grab. Again, I was only there for half hour. So yeah. So that was what I would visit, and I'm going to show. So let's break down what happened on Wednesday. So Wednesday, we got everything set up, and there was a lot of technical issues that happened on Wednesday. Audio issues, camera issues. It was a whole bunch of stuff that kind of, and also Todd was a trooper because it was really hard. And I was like I said before, my head was on a swivel as a producer / technical director, because it was like really weird that day, to say the least. So I don't know, like it was a really weird
and I think that could easily become the tagline of CES 2022 is it was weird. Because on like Monday or Tuesday, just before the show opens, we're told, oh yeah, by the way, we're canceling the 4th day.
Right.
What? I have people signed up for interviews on the 4th day. Sad story. Get out. So it was a little bit like trying to run in quicksand,
right,
the whole week. Because every time we turned around, they're like, oh yeah, by the way, there's this change in the rules. Oh yeah, we're canceling Saturday. Oh yeah. Oh my God. Can you just shh?
Right.
Leave us alone for like 30 minutes.
Yeah. And also too, when on that day, our broadcast coordinator, Linda's our broadcast coordinator, but this person named Ronnie got a hold of you and Robbie, excuse me.
Robbie's awesome.
Okay.
She is fantastic.
Okay.
She's in charge of all media relations for CES.
Okay. So there was a stage that we could have used for our broadcast. And Scott and I were talking about it, and it would have been great. However, the guest already knows where we're at. And
we've sent out emails. We have told people several times where we're going to be, and then we're changing things. And then we're not changing as much as we thought. Hold on.
Right. Right.
So it was a little bit of a mess. And we're like, no, we don't want to send out one more update saying we're moving.
Right. So we decided to be at the tower. And so basically Wednesday, there was little technical issues that happened. The rest of the day went smoothly until day 2. Now, day 2. Now, see, when Scott and Alante mentioned at the last day, I lived on that tower from we got there around 8 o'clock to 1 o'clock. I lived on that tower, going up and down the stairs, checking people in, keeping Scott up to speed on what's going on, letting him know what's going on with different things like that. So Thursday there was I was in control, like getting the guests on, micing them up and everything like that. So perfect example, and I don't know, I'm not blasting this company. They're a great company. I'm happy they came. We're very happy they came on. It was the CEO. I think it was day 2, if I'm not mistaken. It was the CEO and the guy having a vest showing off a product with the camera or monitor. Was it day 2? Or was it day 1? Was it day 2?
Oh, it was not day 1.
Okay, it was day 2 then. Okay. I think it was day 2. So they brought up their entourage had a total of 5 people. The CEO, the guy with the vest on, a photographer, another person, and then they had this long banner they want to put up in a shot. Literally in a shot. And I said, guys,
we're not allowed.
No, we're not. We can't bring that bring it up there. And we
literally aren't allowed to have banners up there.
No, I know that.
Our own space. So we couldn't have done it if we wanted to.
Right, but I didn't tell him that, but we know that, but but I didn't tell him that, and I said you can't bring them in the shot, and they look so disappointed. I'm like, guys, we can't have it on the shot because the desk and everything is so tight, you can't, you can barely fit 2 people, let alone a banner and he had a photographer. I'm like, holy crap. I was ready. Like, I was so like, again, my head was on a swivel, making sure that Todd's okay, Chris is okay, the TD was okay, Reese was okay, and everything like that. So I'm like shepherding them in, and the photographer's taking pictures. I'm trying to like maintain a distance between the lights and the cameras and everything like that because we have it taped off. So I'm trying to do my own photos and video for me, for the channel, but and also to incorporate some things. And I'm like, guys, you got to move back. You got to move back. You got to move back. And I'm like, that was the most like. And then they had other guests that came on, that wanted to do their own, way of introducing themselves and things like that. So it was like, holy crap. I mean, but despite all that, it was
and
like
the thing that kills me is we send out 3 emails ahead of time. This is the structure. Here's how it's going to work. We do not deviate from this.
Right.
I don't care who you are.
Right.
If Gary Shapiro wanted to come on, the CEO of the Consumer Technology Association, if he wanted to come on and do an intro different than normal, sorry, bud.
Right.
This is our show, our structure. I know it's your tower, but you're going to have to play by my rules.
Yep. So yeah, it was like, it was so. But the best part of day 2 was National Tech Day. And Marl Anderson, who is the founder of the
National
Day Calendar. Thank you.
Which encourages you to celebrate
every day. There you go. You can see it if you're listening. He's showing off his Celebrate Every Day pen. So on Thursday we had this was the best day ever. I mean, the whole week was great.
It was awesome.
The week was great. It was a blast. But what we did was, and we all use StreamYard. And StreamYard, if you're watching this stream, thank you. We love you.
Thank you, StreamYard. Honestly,
we love you dearly.
We accomplished some crazy stuff because of you.
And we were able to, when we had breaks in between guests, we were able to go to the platform about 200 feet away. And Marl was doing interviews with various companies. And it was like I think that if I'm not mistaken, I think we were the only one streaming. I don't think there's other networks there was there was press there. So CNET was not there. TechCrunch was not there. The Verge was not there. There were some independent companies, but there was YouTubers, of course.
Right.
But I think we were the only ones doing continuous streaming from.
I think you're right.
I was like,
certainly the largest. If there were others, we were certainly the largest.
Yes, without question. And and also Fox News was there. Now Fox News had their office and studio next door to us in our tower, and they have like millions of dollars of a budget. Us, it's not expensive. I mean, it is not cheap to go out to Vegas and what have you. But we don't have their money. So, and also too, I always say that a lot of networks like CBS, CNN, what have you, they only do like a couple of hits on the various things going on at CES. As TPN is concerned, we look for stuff that consumers like, that we like, to put out to the masses. And
honestly,
it was so.
I'm going to be perfectly honest. It's all about stuff that I like. That's who gets approved. But yeah, no, we do a really good job of moderating and curating who's on the show, because we don't necessarily want the big stuff. Sometimes we do. We had Monster on. Yes, we have Stern Pinball on most years. But I prefer the weird stuff, because who else had a live interview with a guy who has a laptop with stuff popping out of it in like AR 3D? Nobody. It was us.
Right. But also too, though, there's some things that because when we get the invite or press releases and they want to come on, they want to do an interview with them. I look at the emails read their pitch. Some of them were like, I don't know, but there's something I was really intrigued about.
Mhm.
And YBrush, which I did a quick interview. They're supposed to show up on Friday,
Yeah.
didn't. So I was interested in that. There were some things that I would like to see, but also like, expand like the consumers, the viewers and listeners of our podcast, is like, we'll see like I always say from one spectrum to the other. And fast. And a lot of times, like Benji Lock was on Shark, was the guys did an interview with them, went on Shark Tank. Right there you go. He's watching. As you go, if you're not listening on the audio, Scott's wearing a Benji Lock sweatshirt. And then there was a company by the name of Max Pro Fitness, who was on interview with Don Bain, and they went on a Shark Tank, and he got a deal. They got a deal with I can't remember the guy's name. Who got to deal with him? Oh crap. I don't know if it was Damon John, or it wasn't Cuban. I'm not sure which one it was, but they got a deal. So I think the reach that we have have these interviews with these companies, these small companies or even bigger companies, we can it shows them to the masses, whereas with CBS, NBC, CNN, what have you, they're not going to show maybe a couple of things here and there. We show a diverse and a great mix of content.
Yeah.
And I say that to this day, and I still say that, till the day I die. I think I may be biased, but ever since I came on, I'm fascinated by it. I'm fascinated by every little thing. And when I went to, and I'll show you one more clip or video when I was at the convention center.
This is the company that was on the show in 2020 that we had to kind of redo our cameras to make work.
Okay.
On the fly. I remember these guys now.
Yeah.
There was a woman like working out for like half the interview. Yeah. I had to move cameras around while we were live to be able to get her in.
Yeah. It was a great interview. It was a great interview. So I think Thursday.
Yeah, I kind of want one. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah. So Thursday. So Thursday was again. It was a great week. It was a great week. But that Thursday was great with Marlo, and and it was great to and that's where
it's inspired something.
Mm-hmm.
We've talked about it a little bit.
Right.
Our intention is to do this multi-location in the future.
That's great.
I want to do more of this.
Mm-hmm.
And for those who watched, so we prototyped on Thursday with Marlo, and then we took it even further on Friday. For those who watched in our segment,
right?
We did four interviews during our segment from Central Hall.
Right. Yep.
Can you imagine 5 years ago, the idea of being able to do a remote with one host in Florida,
right?
A producer not here,
right? Right.
My producer wasn't in the studio. My producer was remote. Adam wasn't here with us. Now, I had other producers out in mission control, but the person who was technical director at the time, Adam wasn't here. Adam was TDing from remote.
Okay.
And the guest was in Central Hall.
That was
showing
cool.
off their booth and product. We did one on Wednesday. We did one on Thursday. No, we did two on Wednesday, one on Thursday, and 4 on Friday. All interviews from the show floor back to us here.
Yeah.
We're going to do more of this.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And
we're
definitely
build a nice little backpack with a tripod and a camera that comes out and connects to the backpack. You set down the tripod. You've got your microphone. We can go do interviews. The backpack is what's bringing it into StreamYard, and we're good to go.
Yep.
We're going to do more of this.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to it. And I'm, and I already got my dates already. Cause see, when we us as a team, Scott and I and Todd and the rest of them, we plan with CES. We put that in our calendars. The moment we find out the next date, it's in our calendars, and and that's when. And then usually right around September-ish, they'll give us the dates and when we can apply, register and get all that, and then little by little, that's when we get the emails. And the emails I've gotten, I mean, we've gotten like over 100, 200, 300 plus emails. And that's when we start looking at them. And then little by little, we start planning, what we're going to do each day. And so it's a long, lengthy process. But let me tell you, it's working. Doing this is a pleasure and a joy. We have a blast. And,
it's the most amount of work of the year. And yet it's still the most fun.
It absolutely is. And I was kind of disappointed because, we would, because I was by myself. Todd was doing things, Chris was doing his own thing, what have you. So it's me by myself. And then usually over the past couple of years, we've gone to different parties and events and dinners and everything like that. So, for me,
that's my part.
Yeah. Right. So for me, I was kind of disappointed because, I didn't go to any of the parties. We were invited to a couple of parties. I really didn't want to go. I was by the time I got done with everything, I was wiped out. And it's a long day, but also too that there's various events like CS Unveiled and Showstoppers, which runs literally the moment after CES shuts down for day one. Or I'm sorry, no, I'm thinking of wrong date. But yeah, so everything is
Showstoppers opens 30 minutes after the show floor closes.
Exactly right.
Or at least check-in does. Doors open 30 minutes later.
Exactly right. So by the time you're done we're done from the expo, from Sans Expo, I mean, excuse me, we're still saying Sans Expo, Venetian Expo, right? So to get from there all the way, literally across, not necessarily across town, it's about maybe a block or two over.
So I'm going to give you a hint for the future.
Mm.
If you go out our main door and cross the street directly across, there's a side door that takes you into the expo part of the Wynn.
Oh, that's what you and Chris were talking
about. We learned it a couple of years ago.
That's right. I forgot about that. Okay, good to know.
Directly across the street from us.
Good to know.
But there's no crosswalk, so you're taking your life in your hands.
Oh, geez.
But if you go down to the crosswalk and cross and then come back, you can get in the side door.
Okay. Good to know.
We learned it 2 years ago.
Good to know. Okay. All right. So, so by the time you're done, it's like, you're exhausted. And
you were at the tower at 8 a.m., which means you were on the move by 7:30, which means you were awake at least 7, probably closer to 6:30.
Right.
And so you've been going since 6:30 in the morning, let's say 7, just to make it easier. You've been going since 7 a.m. Showstoppers closes at 10. Yeah.
And what happened was with me is that I had to drop off a portion of my gear because I was like way down with so much crap. Mm-hmm. So I had to drop everything off. Then I think I took a lift. Did I take a lift? Yeah, I did. So it's it was
a crazy day.
It's a crazy day. It's a crazy week, but but it was really like, but all in all, again, with everything from start to finish. So it was, we had a blast. We're definitely going to do a lot of cool stuff. We're definitely going to, and I'm making sure that because, and I promised a viewer whoever, if he's watching, he subscribes to the channel, which thank you, that I want to get to Eureka Park. And I was trying to get to Eureka Park, but there was a little bit, not necessarily time constraint, but I was trying to get as much as I can, and I didn't was able to get, it was nutty.
It's chaos.
So, it is. So
in 2020, I saw 2 booths.
Mm-hmm.
2. The entire show, I saw 2 booths.
Yeah.
And both of them were on the show.
Yeah, I was there. I was down there in 2018 and with Todd, and it's amazing. And I was down at Eureka Park because I had to hunt down a guy with the guy from Key who threw his keys.
Yes.
Threw his keys out in the tower. And I remember you and Alante said that he's the GOAT.
That was, And then he set fire.
They set fire. And if you watch was he on day 3 or day 2?
Oh, that was day 3.
Day 3. Okay.
That was just before the end of your broadcast.
That's right. That's
There
right.
were like literally like I think there was 1 or 2 guests after him, and then we came back to Chris for two guests after we took over for a minute.
That's right. You're right.
I've got a story about that I cannot tell on the show.
No, good. Tell me afterwards when we get off here. So I was down there for about maybe a hot minute searching for the guy and giving his keys back. All in all, I'm definitely. So I promise I will put in make sure I have my calendar because, I told Scott that I'm TDing I always TD for over the past 3 years. I'm throwing this out now. I'm going to be TD for the morning, so I can definitely. So I said, Scott,
well, if I get my way and I have 2 stages,
okay,
which is my current pitch.
Okay,
maybe you can take over one of them, and Adam can take over the other.
Okay, deal. Okay, I'll TD the second stage. That's no problem. No, actually, no. I'm sorry. I want the tower. I'm sorry. I've been there for. No, I want the tower. I'll put my.
They might both be towers.
Oh, okay. Okay. Well,
that's my current goal.
Oh, okay.
I want a tower at the Venetian, and I want a tower at the convention center.
Oh, okay. Okay.
I want to duplicate our setup. I want to be in 2 places at once.
Okay,
because I'm insane.
Oh, okay. Yes, you certainly are. I still want the tower at the Venetian. I'm putting my dibs in now. So that's Adam. I love you, man. I've been doing it for 2-3 years. So
yeah, sounds good.
I want to be so as soon as I get off air, in the morning or the 9 to noon, noonish, the first day or the second day or what have you, I'm making my way down there and I will definitely get content out of it. Okay. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you guys, and we're going to get this off. So, but again, Scott, all in all, it was a great week, and
it was.
We had a lot of fun.
And I've been editing the videos. They've been fantastic. We had some technical issues with unmuting of microphones, but the good news is Chris went and so it's wild. The host's mic was still on, and the guests, for those who haven't seen, the guests were the CDC guideline distance away from the host.
Right.
And with the mild audio that was coming from the host's microphone, Chris was able to get audio on all 4 interviews.
Nice. Good on him. Yeah, there was audio issues and but all in all, everything worked out. Okay. So last I'm going to show you, and this is going to be from, I'm going to show you day 2. This is day 2 at Lbcc. Where I was at, I think we were in. I'm not sure if it was North Hall or Central Hall.
This looks like Central.
Okay. So again, a lot of companies. There were some companies that pulled out. Again, Google pulled out. T-Mobile pulled out.
Hisense. This is Central Hall.
Okay. Yeah. So there's a few that pulled out. And the space, as you can see here, if you're listening on audio, I'm just describing we're showing off. This is from live. It's live, but it's recorded. So that if you want to see the video, it's on our GNC We Can Review channel page. So there was, this was again when you go to LBC, it is packed. It's 200 plus 240 plus thousand plus people in this convention center. This year they said, including media press, was 40,000 people.
Yeah. 20%.
Yeah. So this was completely spaced out. It's like, again, everyone's wearing masks, everyone's social distancing. And so if you're watching live right now, watching on the video right now, live video, or our live episode, that's Todd Cochrane. He's host of Geek News Central. And he's also,
so the thing that's freaking me out a little bit, I'm sorry,
that's okay,
is that Hisense is in Panasonic's space. That is weirding me out.
Yep. You're right. Yeah,
because they took the spot up front that Microsoft abandoned a number of years ago.
Mhm.
Wow, Targus has got a lot of space this year.
Yeah.
But I just needed to confirm for those who are watching live. That is me in the exact same spot that you guys just walked down the stairs at, with Panasonic in that space where Hisense was this year.
Okay.
With almost the same setup, which is real weird. Is Panasonic not making TVs anymore? Do they sell their business to Hisense?
Good question.
Wow, there's TCL way back here too.
Yeah.
I guess they just moved. The big guys moved further back.
I guess I was like really like I think TCL I believe they had supposed to have a press conference. I think I don't know if
Yes.
they did, okay, because I went to the last one in 2020.
I always enjoy TCL's press conferences,
Mhm.
and not just because they give us weird stuff at the end.
Right. But also too and with speaking of like showstoppers, they have food. Every press conference I've been to over the past couple of years, the food is outstanding. And this is one in Central Hall.
I was looking for one of the TCL bags.
Oh, jeez.
I've got, you guys can't see it. I got a little cubby over here that is just absolutely filled with CES stuff from years gone by.
Okay, so I'm going to fast forward this really quick. So this was Todd was talking about on day 2 that when getting into Samsung, they have handlers and they will not let anyone in. But when they saw our badges, they said, media, like, come right on in. We're like, woohoo.
Come in.
Right. So
did you get to see the car? No. This is Sony. This is Samsung. Who is this?
Okay.
Whose booth are you in right now?
Samsung.
Okay, never mind. Sony's car. Never mind. Ignore me. I know what I'm talking about. I swear.
Okay. Was there a comment? Because I didn't see it. Oh, okay.
I thought we were at Sony's booth, and I was going to ask if you got to see their car.
No. Oh, no. Oh, well, we're going to get to Sony. I got a Sony, but
excellent.
Sony. Yes. And
I can't wait to see if the car makes it in.
Yeah. Yeah. You're not talking about the color changing. That's BMW.
No. Sony's making a car.
Yeah,
they announced a car at CES.
Yep. I got it.
The Vision, or something like that. I don't think you know what a car is.
Right.
That'd be a great name for a line of televisions. I don't know that you know what a car is.
Right.
So Samsung calls their booth the city.
Right. Yep.
Because it's so freaking big.
This takes up, and this is this takes up literally a good portion, if not more so, of Central Hall. This booth, this is not a booth. This is like a take my apartment and add to 1,000.
Oh yeah, it's ridiculously huge. It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
So to put things into perspective, that screen on the wall in the background a second ago, if we end up turning back to the left, that screen to the left is like 12 feet high.
Yeah.
I like that they have started using their own screens in the booth though, which they did not used to do. That screen there.
Yeah.
That thing's like 12 feet tall. It is a product called The Wall that we did an interview with them on a number of years ago that Alante talked about. It's a modular television that snaps together and can be any size you want it to be.
Yeah, I think it was 2018, I believe, wasn't it?
I think you're right.
Yeah.
It's a wicked product, and I love that they're using it in their booth now. Super smart.
Yeah, it's really cool. And they have and with Samsung they're showing off their latest products, and I mentioned about
that was pretty cool.
Their latest foldable phone. And see, we had free reign. And again, now the space, this, I mean, social
I don't like
distancing
that
aside,
keyword.
yeah, neither did I. Social distancing aside, it was like there was not many people in Samsung. I mean, there was people, but again, in years past, and I imagine probably when I guess we're go back to normal, you cannot move in these booths.
Yeah, you also have to throw elbows in there.
Exactly. So you cannot move. I mean, you had literally free reign, which Todd, to this, I kid you not, Todd's still impressed. It was like stunned they were able to get in here. we were like stunned because we didn't think we were going to get in there. So so if you notice here, this area
Run away,
here,
Todd, run away. Continue.
He was amazed that there's like will be booths like here, all over. There's no tables. The only tables you'll see is way in the back of Central Hall, and that's where you can get a snack or juice, what have you. There was no so this was like unreal.
They were able to order tables and chairs to fill in the big gaps that were opening up last minute. They were able to get those last minute. I still haven't been contacted back about getting renting a chair for our studio.
Right. I'm sorry. I apologize. Went to the wrong tab here. So, all right. So let me see.
It's so for those who haven't seen a video like this before of CES, this is weird. There's so much like I'm feeling like weird and anxious watching this video because there's so few people.
Yeah, I was like stunned. I was stunned, okay, so
we in the past have literally used our tripods as weapons,
right?
To be able to get through this area of Central Hall.
Now, if you notice, my camera was pointing down because, for the record, and this was the running joke for that week.
Is that it?
That's it. Yeah. This is it right here. The running joke was that I fell down. I had I did not fall on any stair, including the tower, the monorail getting from Lbcc across town. I did not fall. So everyone was joshing me about it. So that's the car.
Interesting.
So this carpet right here was plush. I mean, it was super soft.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, super plush.
So much so you can see it in the video.
Right. Yeah. So now Sony also has a big presence, and they only showed off maybe that car. They showed that car, and that was it.
There was a PlayStation display off in the corner.
Oh, I didn't see it. Okay.
I saw a PS5 logo, but it just looked like an 8-foot folding table with a drape over it with the PS5 logo over
top.
Okay.
Okay. So yeah, we're still in Central Hall. And it may come up in a second. Oh, you're going to see it in a second. And I was joking to Todd. I said,
Daily Pay. They were on our show.
Yep.
They were the first remote interview we did. So now I know where they were on the floor.
Yeah. Is it going to come up in a second? Maybe.
I don't know.
Well, you'll see. Where I was joking to Todd about it. I don't want to ruin it just yet. Let me see if I can. Okay, you see this right. Wait, let me pause this real quick. You see this watch this right here. This is a nose. Just keep watching.
Okay, it sure is.
Now I spotted it first, and as I walk up a little bit, and I don't want to put a sound on because it, I don't want it to crush or anything like that, but I saw it first, and I told Todd, I said, Todd, and there's no joke. I said, Todd, I'll give you. Yeah, the focus was off. I said to Todd, I will give you $100 if you pick this nose. And he goes, no.
Oh. I'd have done it in a moment. I wouldn't have even asked for the money. So there's two things that are happening in my head. The first is it would have been hilarious to pick the nose.
Right.
Also, to have shouted, "Hey, your nose is running." It was the first thing I thought. It's amazing they continue to let me back.
See, I told him to make you laugh. So yeah, that was
amazing. They let me come back because I do that stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, and this was great because what I was using.
That is a big booth that says Energizer.
Yeah, right. And the cool thing is, I like this platform called Prism because with YouTube Live, you have to have over 1,000 subscribers. And I was doing some research on where I can get a live app, to push through to YouTube.
What? You have to have 1,000 subscribers?
Yeah. Yeah, I have to. Yeah, you have. From what I understand, you have 1,000 subscribers before you can go live. That's, I don't know if it changed or not, but yeah. So I use Prism, and Prism is cool where you can you can play a video before you go on and stuff like that. So they got a lot of cool features with it. So that's what I used. And this time I brought my stick, so it's not as wobbly. And they had the towers. They had towers there. They weren't used. So let me see. And I mentioned it too. I said they had these great names like Love Handle.
I love Love Handle. They're friends of ours.
Are they really? I was going to say, I was like, how they come up with these unique names is like, or different names. It's like, it's fascinating to me. And he's got one that.
Oh, I thought I had one in here.
Okay.
I guess I don't.
Okay.
Yeah, no, Love Handle's great. They're a fantastic product.
Oh, okay. But I was joking. I was like, with some of these names, I'm like, how do they how do they come up with these names? And there's Monster, which I knew.
Interesting.
Where you had this remote interview.
We also did a remote from that one.
Right.
I'm glad that they were in Central this year.
Yeah.
Because they were in the Sands 2 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Central's way better for them.
Yeah.
Seriously. The fact that there's this much empty space.
Yep.
Makes me, it feels apocalyptic to me.
Yeah. Without a doubt. Without a doubt. So, yeah. So,
wild.
Yeah. This was, and again, all these tables here, and I don't think there was a food court here, but like I said, there's way in the back. So let me,
I know where we are.
Yep.
Based entirely on the carpet, I know where we are.
Right. So now we're on our way to West Hall. Now, West Hall is way on the other side, and this is a hike to get from when you're going to different halls. It's not one next to the other. You have to walk literally, I would say, a mile plus to get to each hall.
So for anybody who's aware of Elon Musk's Boring Company, and which is the funniest name ever, because they're boring into the ground, not that what they produce is boring. The first transit loop that they built is under the convention center, because to get from South Hall to West Hall is so long that you can go outside, go underground, and there's Teslas that for free will take you around in a big circle between the halls, because it is such a trek that it actually makes sense for them to use electric vehicles to move you around.
And where I was, when I went to get the broadcast bands for the crew,
I love that.
Yeah, that arch is like if you see like on any like our thumbnail or any other thumbnail, that's where that arch is the most recognizable photo you'll see.
And it's interesting because that's a new arch. That's not
okay.
the old one. That's a new one.
Okay.
Because it used to be center,
Hmm.
and it's not on that.
Hmm.
And the old arch was wider, and that one was real narrow with the logo off to the left. That's an updated arch,
Oh, okay.
which is real interesting.
And where I was, excuse me, on Monday, I believe. I think it was Monday morning. I think it was Monday morning at the broadcast bands.
Pick up the bands.
I was pick up the bands, yeah.
S229.
I was told, yeah. Well, I was told it was in Central Hall, but I had to go to West Hall for the badges.
Really?
Yeah.
Not S229?
Nope. I
Oh,
went.
because Robbie told me S229.
Nope.
Interesting.
I went there. I went to S229. I was here. I walked, literally, Scott, no joke. I walked up and down looking for this room. It was actually in West Hall.
Oh, I had heard that they were moving their offices to West, but I didn't think they'd already done it.
They did already. Yeah. They did already. And if you've seen the live blog, well, I don't know if I showed it. Maybe I took a picture. Gary Shapiro's office next to the food court.
Nice.
So if he wants a snack, he can always go out the door, and literally his office, like literally here's like his exit door is just here, and he goes literally straight. He's in the food court.
Nice. Not a bad place to be.
Right.
So are we in North Hall right now?
I believe this is North.
It looks
Hall.
like it.
Yeah, it is North Hall. Yeah. And this is the hall where they had. This was where they had Space Tech, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
And I can't remember.
They used to have all the automotive stuff, but all that moved to West this year.
Right, and this was Space Tech and IoT.
Happy was an interesting brand.
Mm-hmm. Yep, North Hall. Yep, health and also health and wellness.
Choose how you feel. It's some sort of a necklace that looks like a speaker. Need energy? Feeling stressed? Need sleep? The need to feel better is the one constant for everyone.
Right. And Vine and Warren, they were our showstoppers. So there was a lot of, so when it came to,
nice to see that their weird branding continues.
Right.
With the giant germs.
Right. So I noticed, like, in this hall, there was a lot of health tech. I mean, related to coronavirus.
Yes. Yeah. North Hall had health tech in it. And it was a huge section of the floor this year.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a wacky waving inflatable arm flailing tube man.
I know, right? And I was joking about that too. I said, come on in.
Care for ear. For tinnitus.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
We have to tell Chris Jordan about that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so
on Google Play.
And again, with this hall, with each hall, everybody had their mask on, but also too, it was hard because, well, if you saw when I was on with Marlo for a brief period, my mask kept slipping off. And to be honest, at first I thought I was gonna be a little nervous with being with Marlo for that brief period. I actually had a lot of fun. It was pretty cool.
There's no sense in being nervous with Marlo.
Yeah, no, he was great. He was like really like, we were joking about, and he asked me what I thought, and asked how long have I been doing it? And I've been doing 3 years. Well, actually, technically 4, but because I didn't do 2019. But yeah, it was great sitting with him. We had a lot of fun, so it was pretty cool.
I'm sending the link to that Care for Ear to Chris Jordan right now.
Okay, cool. So there was a lot of in the family, or I'm sorry, again, a lot of stuff that you were watching, I'm not going to mention on because it's G-rated and family safe, but there was a lot of these products that were sexual products, sexual health, right? So again, keep if there's going to be comments in the chat, just keep them clean.
They built a big plastic box.
Right. So, all right. So we're going to go fast forward. So now we're on our way to West Hall. Now,
Yeah.
West Hall, um,
It's on a different physical property.
correct. They built this. They built this, and if you recognize, and Scott can recognize this when we were TPM was here in 2005, I believe, or 2006, right here in this.
Yeah, just to the left of that, where Todd's pointing.
Yep. So it was cool to it was cool to be with him, because I was,
And to be back here.
Yeah, right.
Oh,
This
God.
is the area that we're
where that carpet is different.
Mhm.
Is where we were up to
Right.
that post. This when I talk about they dropped an extension cord down from the sky. This is where they dropped it down to us. And so for people who have been following us long term, where they're walking right now is where we used to park.
Gold Lot.
Yeah, the old Gold Lot is part of where they built this building. They also bought one of the old casino hotels and took it down. So this walkway, this overpass that they're on right now, we were on before.
Okay.
I know this well. I have been here many, many times taking equipment to and from the studio, including every night.
Yep. Yeah. So whereas now it's not as bad, in the Venetian Expo, it's not as bad. It's not that big of a hike, but it's yeah. But again, this is again, we were not even denting, not even close to the entrance.
Yeah,
this is a journey. This is a journey, and they have amenities, they have information desks. It's a great view, and you'll see in about a couple seconds.
Yeah, this overpass here is such a cool view. Oh, they put in new carpet.
Yep.
So at the end of this overpass, there used to be a little building with an elevator and an escalator to go downstairs to go to the Gold Lot.
Yep.
And that was where the convention center ended, and now it is not.
Yeah, I think they broke the 3.1 million square feet of space. They were at two and some change. 2020. 2.9. Okay, so they broke. So they went over. So this is on the Strip, and also if you saw a second ago, the Westgate. They also, a lot of the anything that the companies exhibit, they won't necessarily be at the convention center or at the Venetian Expo. They'll be at the Westgate. They'll be at Aria, Cosmo. They're spread out all over. So when you go to CES,
this is weird.
Yeah,
this is where things change.
Right. Right.
Now we're getting into stuff I've not seen before.
Yeah, this is brand new.
The escalators going up are the opposite of what used to happen.
Right.
Right. Escalators used to go down.
And
there's an elevator off to the right.
Yeah. So a lot of these, when there's companies exhibiting, they use obviously Lbcc, Venetian Expo, but they're at Aria, Cosmos, so they're spread out all over. And when you're doing CES, you cannot see everything in one day. It's literally impossible.
Well, you can't see everything in 4 days.
Right. No, you can't. And it's so hard. I mean, and I tried to get as much, because I was shooting video at the Venetian Expo for about half hour, it's really hard to do it all, but I did my best to put as much content as I could, for our channel.
Excuse me.
And yeah, and it's hard. I was trying to put in as much as I could in the live blog for photos and video, the best I could. So I had my game upped up a tiny bit, but that
little setup back there with the chairs and the round table is exactly what we were thinking about for the studio.
Okay.
What in the world is that?
I have no idea. I just
okay. Big green tube. Got it.
Right.
Why not? It's
Yeah.
Vegas.
Yeah. So, and they had, different things going on outside. And when we got outside, the line queue for to get it. We were told to get an Uber or Lyft. It's on Central Hall, which is 2 miles over.
Way back where we started.
Exactly. So Todd said, "F this, we're gonna get a taxi," which he swore he was not going to get one. But yeah, it was. We were not walking. It's a again. It's a hike. I mean, when you go to Vegas, not necessarily for CES, but I recommend strongly, and I say this often: wear comfortable shoes, because
Oh yeah.
when you're walking from, the hotels are not like next door to each other; they're spread out.
Oh yeah, you can be walking for a week and a half and still not be past Caesar's Palace.
Yeah, and I took a little walk down the strip, and let me tell you, and I had a lot of fun doing it. But yeah, it'll knock you out. So definitely wear, if you're going to CES, or excuse me, going to Vegas, please, 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 please wear comfortable shoes. I beg of you. That's a PSA now. PSA for me. So yeah, this is like, yeah, we were walking like endlessly. So I'm gonna fast forward this here, and we went down the down escalator. Now I was so careful, because with stairs, and when I was at the monorail, I mean to pick up the bands, half the escalators didn't work, and
Yes.
so I was like, why am I being punished, or half these stairs not working? The escalators, half of them weren't working. So I'm like, I'm never doing this ever again.
Welcome to welcome to being the one to pick up equipment.
Right.
That is my experience every year. Escalators don't work. You've either got to walk up the escalator, or you got to go to the elevator in the corner.
Right.
The ones outside of S229 are never working.
Right. So this is West Hall. This is where the auto tech was, and I have never heard of Todd and I never really heard of any of these companies, and yeah, this was, again, this hall, again, everybody social distancing, but it was
huge.
Yeah, it was. Todd and I weren't really impressed with it. I mean, it was okay. I mean, but I think that what I was telling him was that they were blowing up West Hall like it was going to be the biggest thing since sliced bread, and it's going to be fascinating, and and all that good stuff. And
Garmin.
Yeah,
Sorry.
Garmin was there. No, that's okay.
Apologize.
No, you're all right. They were touting West Hall to be the greatest thing, and they're going to have all these companies, but unfortunately, Ford wasn't there.
West Hall was the building that had the most pullouts.
Mm-hmm. Correct.
Which is unfortunate.
Right. Yeah, Ford and I can't remember how many car companies. There was supposed to be like a lot of car companies for this hall.
InstallerNet. Wow, what a weird blast from the past. I appreciate you taking a second and focusing in on their logo for me. I've got a hat with that logo on it around here somewhere, because they used to be the company that did all of the satellite dish installations for Radio Shack.
Fun fact. See, when you come on the podcast, you learn something new every day, including me.
Ouster? It's a terrible name.
Yeah, I never heard of some of these manufacturers, to be honest with you. I'd never.
Well, see, so that's one of the things that's really interesting about the move into electric vehicles is that you don't have to be a car company to be able to do it, because they are technology. So you've got all of these companies who have never been involved in vehicles before in any meaningful way getting into cars, because an electric car is really no more complicated than a remote control car that you would have gotten at Toys R Us. It's just bigger. And so, you don't have to have quite the same infrastructure. You don't have to be Ford or GM or Fiat to be able to pull this off anymore. So you've got all these little brands that are getting into it now. And then you've got companies like, hey,
Fisker,
right. You've got companies like Faraday Future who are misunderstanding, which is a shame. How many emails did you get from them?
A boatload.
At least 20 I got.
Yeah, that sounds like that, right? Yeah.
It's like, yeah, I get it. We've invited you. You're not coming. Stop emailing me.
Right.
Too simple. I love that.
Mm-hmm.
That's a great name.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so
it's a really great name.
And I was with Todd because basically I want to again put content on the live blog, and I wanted to see West Hall. I was kind of intrigued with it, and I was like, and we were like really like, disappointed, but not necessarily disappointed, but we were shocked that this hall, as massive and this is massive as the other halls,
yeah,
it was not even that filled to capacity. Nor the attendance, and this was day 2.
Day 2. Robbie told me from Benji Lock. Robbie told me that that day 2 felt like CES at the Venetian.
Oh, absolutely, yeah, it was.
He said day 1 felt empty, but day 2 felt like CES. But that's at the Venetian.
Yeah. Yeah, he was right. He was right.
Hyundai's got a lot of space.
Yeah, and when we were walking down here, we were like surprised at presence, and maybe in the next couple seconds, a minute or so, there was a line right.
I see
right here, and I was like, and I was talking to him. I said about the various things. I said, "What the hell is that line for?" And he said, and Todd says for Hyundai. I'm like, "Oh, okay."
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
See, I'd want to talk to the weird ones.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a big if I'm going to go in here and I'm going to talk to somebody, it's not going to be Hyundai. Mm-hmm. Sorry. Hyundai is real open about the things that they're up to. But yeah, I'm gonna go knock on the door of Faraday Future like we absolutely did in the past. Kind of bullied them into an interview.
Okay.
One of my favorite past CES moments. That can't all be Hyundai?
Yeah, it is.
Oh my God!
This whole side right here was Hyundai. That whole left-hand side.
Oh my God! They could have had every model they've ever produced in that space.
Yeah, we didn't know exactly if it was a press conference or what, but
they did have a presser, but I thought it was on Tuesday. And I think it was remote.
I think I don't know if I got an email from. I don't think I got an email from them. I don't think
I did.
Oh, you did? Okay.
I got so many emails from Hyundai this year.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not surprised that they have such a huge floor presence. Hey, and then a big empty space.
Right. So. Yeah. So that was West Hall. I cut it off. Well, we were there for about 45 minutes, and so yeah, that was it was really and it took us a good while to get around downstairs and getting into a Uber or sorry, a taxi, because it was like Todd said, F this.
No way we're going back.
Yeah, we're not. I mean, it was like bananas. So I just wanted to show you guys. We wanted to have a recap of CES. Again, a great week. You can catch the stuff on from the live video on our channel and on TPN as well. So if you want to watch all the content on there as well, you can do so. So all in all, it was a great week. Okay, so with that in mind, now this is our 100th episode. I am so happy, right?
That does make sense.
No, that's okay. It's okay. It's okay. So I am like really pleased. The very first episode of GNC Week in Review was October 27th, 2018. It was a very short episode, not many stories. One of the top stories was Apple's was fined for slowing iPhones. That was one of the top stories. So, so basically from October 27th to 2018, no, sorry, from October 27th, 2018 to when Scott came on, because I wanted to get a little more content out of the podcast. I want to bring something different, and I've known Scott for a few years when I first met him, and I figured he'd be a perfect co-host to come on, and because he brings a lot to the table. He brings joy to the podcast. I had a lot of fun, and so he joined as my co-host as the co-host on my right date, May 22nd of 2020.
Wow.
So yeah, episode 58. So the top stories were at the time, Amazon was making its own game. Walmart drops Jet.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
I had forgotten about Jet.
Yeah.
That's not great.
No, right?
I wonder why they got rid of that brand.
Walmart's new tablet with some of the stories. Yeah. So a lot happened over the past 2 years. So first off, I want to give a big thank you to Todd Cochrane for allowing me to having this podcast and to be a part of the Tech Podcast Network, as well as a partner with GNC with Geek News Central, where this podcast is modeled from. Basically, he asked me, 2018 at the fun fact, he asked me at the end of CES, we were having a drink, or Todd calls it a cocktail. He asked me if I should have my own podcast, and I didn't really think. I thought it was a good idea, and I didn't know what podcast to do. I mean, there's always politics or science, but I've been so immersed in Geek News Central, that I wanted to do a podcast of modeling what Todd does, on Mondays and Thursdays, but I want to do a whole week of tech news, and dissect it. And I wanted to bring Scott on because he complements it. Like I said, before, he's my yin to my yang. We dissect the news, question things, make it interesting. We invite the listeners and viewers with their thoughts about different things like that. So that's why I brought him on. And ever since then, it's still a lot of fun. So I want to give a big thanks to Scott for coming on the podcast as my co-host. Again, brings a lot to the table by dissecting the tech news with me. Have a lot of fun on the episodes, and I cannot imagine having a podcast without him. So thank you very much, sir.
I appreciate that. It's been a ton of fun.
Yes, absolutely. So I thank you immensely. And lastly, along with Scott, we want to say thank you to all the viewers and subscribers of the podcast. Without all of you, this podcast will not have happened. So we really do appreciate it. And we're still gonna have a lot of fun for next 100 episodes, 200 episodes, 300 episodes, and so on and so forth. So I'm having a lot of fun. I look forward to when working on as executive producer for Geek News Central. I look forward to it each week. I look forward to pulling the stories, pulling out a lot of cool stuff, the news of the week, dissecting them each week. I look forward to it each and every week, and I have so much fun doing it. So I thank you truly from the bottom of my heart. Okay, with that in mind, we are going to have, since it's our 100th episode, we're going to have a 100 episode giveaway. And
so that word's going to be important because I changed the URL.
Okay.
I changed it to that one.
To giveaway or?
Yeah.
Okay. So.
Because it worked.
Okay. So so instead of GNCweekly.com, it's going to be GNCweekly.com/giveaway.
Giveaway.
Okay, cool. Okay. Let me do it right now. Do it right now.
Yes, I made I made a change.
Awesome.
We were having some weird server issues where we couldn't actually update the page unless we gave it a new URL. So I did.
That's all right.
That's it.
That's all right. Okay, cool. Okay, so it's up right now, gncweekly.com/giveaway. And so here's how it breaks down to. If you follow on Twitter, which is required, you get an extra bonus share. If you share on Facebook or go ahead, I'm sorry, I messed up.
If you subscribe on YouTube, which is required,
right,
you get an entry in.
Okay.
If you follow us on Twitter, you get an extra entry. If you share the contest on Twitter, you get an extra entry. If you share the contest on Facebook, you get an extra entry. Okay. Everything is made easy for you. There are buttons. All you have to do is click on our YouTube thing, give us your channel name as it displays on YouTube, so that we can verify that you have subscribed. The follow, share, and share are automated. Click on the link, and we know that you've done it. It's really as easy as that.
Okay, cool. Okay, so I knew I messed up. I apologize. That was my fault.
Okay. And then we need your name and email address, because if you win, we have to be able to contact you.
Exactly. And it's going to be from now until January 31st at what time?
February 4th.
Oh,
2 full
4th.
weeks. We're going until midnight, 11:59 on February 4th,
Eastern time.
East Coast time.
Right.
So you have 14 days, 2 hours, 16 minutes, and 20 seconds.
Okay, there you go.
There's a counter at the bottom of the page.
Okay.
So that you can see how long you've got left to enter. So there's lots of ways to enter, lots of ways to get extra points, extra entries into the contest. And we got some cool stuff to give away.
Okay. So with that, so we're going to, as I mentioned at the top, and I gave some hints, now at Showstoppers, they give swag, and I try to grab some swag. So I'm going to try to pull this here and my camera here, because speaking of camera, I'm trying to get a new one, but we'll talk about it later. Okay. So this is the hot commodity. This is a COVID-19 home test.
Why does it say do not open?
It hasn't been opened yet.
Okay. Seems like it's a... Okay. Nope, not going to say it. Go ahead.
Okay. So there's that. I also have...
Those are nearly impossible to get.
Yeah, so it's a hot commodity.
And if you go to the government website and request one...
Oh, yeah.
It's going to take longer, because they say they won't ship until up to 21 days, so you won't need it anymore.
Right.
You can enter this giveaway, and we can ship it possibly faster.
Right. And don't worry. And for those who are wondering, because when with CES attendees and exhibitors and what have you, they gave us one, and I have an extra one, so I'm good. Okay. All right. So the next one, this is from Renfro, and this is a mini massage gun.
Nice.
Yes. So when they came to our tower for an interview, and they gave us some stuff. So as soon as I saw that, I snagged it. So you're gonna get that.
Yeah, for sure. That's great.
Okay, and this is from. I'm not going to show the URL and broadcasters, but this is from, and I'm going to show the site right now. This is the one I showed in the video from RoboForm.
Okay.
And I'm going to. No. There we go. Okay, so this is from RoboForm. This is the password manager that I told you about. So you will get a free year of RoboForm everywhere to try out.
That's awesome.
Yep. And I'm not going to give the site because it's only good for one person only from what I have. Okay. All right. So I got a fold stand from eMed.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. And this is from Posio. This is the short leader I talked about. I told. Yep.
Very nice.
Yep. This is a a lanyard from RoboForm. Okay.
Very nice.
And I don't know what this is.
Even better.
Oh, this is from eMed. I think this is it's a clipper.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay, a chip clipper. Oh, okay, cool. At first, when I looked at it, I'm like, "What the hell is it?" But now I know what it is.
Or a like a pad of paper clip.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's cool.
Got a pen.
Nice.
This is from RoboForm. Pair of sunglasses. And this also was on one of our interviews from Lidl speaker.
A little speaker.
Little speaker.
Excellent.
Yes. And I think that's it. Okay. So last but not least. So as you know, TPN has merch. So I'm going to throw in. I'm going to share my screen one more time, and we're going to show
one more time.
All right. So I'm going to include a t-shirt. So if you are the winner, let me know your size. So let me know if you're a man or woman. Let me know your size. It's a t-shirt only. So let me know your size. And I'm going to also throw in a face mask, a regular face mask.
They are really nice, by the way.
Okay.
We ordered them for the Plug Hits team. For those who watched our Roboticon coverage, they are exactly the same as the Roboticon ones, except that they're black or dark blue.
Okay.
They're super soft. They're the softest mask I've ever worn. I can't believe that's the regular version.
Yep. So I'm gonna drop that one in, and I'm also going to throw in a mug.
And we'll let you choose. There are two SKUs that were limited. There were two items that were limited that were only available to team members. I'm going to make them available to our contest winners as well.
Cool. Okay. Awesome.
So if you want the travel mug, like what we're showing on right now, great. If you want the white latte mug, like I'm holding in my hand, I'm happy to do that.
Okay.
Or if you want a regular black coffee mug, we can do that as well. And those were only for team members. So other than people who were involved in the show, you will be the only ones that have them. So just putting that out there.
You owe me one. I want a black mug.
Perfect. No worries.
Cool. Okay. So that's what I'm donating for the giveaway. So
and we've got some stuff from around here as well, from past CESs. Like I said, I've got a whole closet down here of CES stuff. I've got some shirts and who knows what else, bags and all kinds of things down there. So we'll put together some stuff from down there.
Cool.
There will be 2 winners. So these things will be split. Everybody will get the CES stuff. Both winners will get the CES branded stuff, and then the other items we will split down the middle. Based on value and interest.
Yeah. So and I think the stuff I got the stuff I got is pretty cool. Again,
for sure.
When I was I was kind of getting I wanted the massage gun for myself, quite honestly, but I figured this would be really cool to give away. And there's I got a bag that came with it from eMed. You can see it. There we go. So I'm going to put that in. So definitely, So GNSweekly.com/giveaway. And we'll remind you at the end of the podcast, which we are running long. So
yes, we are.
We're running very, very long. So
keep knocking this over.
What we're going to do, we're going to call an audible. And I've rarely called an audible. But what we're going to do is let you decide. Well, I want to do the finally at the end, which is kind of funny. But not funny, but it's really serious. But it's kind of like it blew up the internet,
Okay.
and also social media. So you have your choice. I mean, if you want to do the top story about Microsoft, and
So we're gonna cover that on F5 Live Sunday night.
okay, we'll skip that one then.
So for those who have been paying attention, Microsoft announced that they are purchasing Activision. We're going to get into all of the details Sunday night at 9 p.m. About what it is, why it is, the background on why it's happening right now, and the fact that Bobby Kotick believes that he will be keeping his job after the acquisition is completed, which personally I find the funniest of the whole thing. He is almost single-handedly responsible for everything that has gone wrong, and he thinks he's going to keep his job.
Yeah, there's a lot entailed with it. Okay, so so definitely
1,500 employees signed a petition asking for him to be fired. There's no way. There's no way Phil Spencer keeps him. Anyway, we'll be getting into all the details on that on F5 Live this weekend.
Cool. Okay. All right. So let's dive into the next top story. This is from Apple's accounting for 22% of worldwide smartphone shipments in Q4 2021, thanks to strong demand for the iPhone 13. But overall shipments for the quarter grew just 1% as vendors face supply chain problems and a resurgence in COVID-19 cases. Samsung.
So the real situation is that overall shipments are down.
Right.
But Apple, who has a different version of the supply chain from everybody else,
is number one.
Didn't suffer all the same problems that everybody else did.
Right. Go figure.
That's what I'm hearing.
Samsung took second place down from a top spot in Q3 2021 with market share of 20%. Xiaomi maintained his third place position with 12% share. Oppo and Vivo completed the top five with 9% and 8% shares, respectively. Well, PS Xiaomi is not in the United States, but is definitely in overseas. Canalys analyst Cyrene Charusia, if I pronounce this person's name, I apologize, says, quote, Apple is back at the top of the smartphone market after 3 quarters, driven by stellar performance from the iPhone 13. Apple saw unprecedented iPhone performance in mainland China with aggressive pricing for its flagship devices, keeping the value proposition strong. Apple's supply chain is starting to recover, but it was still forced to cut production in Q4 and shortages of key components and could not make enough iPhones to meet demand. In prioritized markets, it maintained adequate delivery times, but in some markets, its customers had to wait to get their hands on the latest iPhones. Canalys' VP Mobility, Nicole Peng.
There weren't enough iPhones for sale. That's never happened.
Right.
Oh, no, wait. That's always happened. That's what I mean.
Exactly. Canalys VP Mobility Nicole Peng says, quote, supply chain disruption, affected low-end vendors the most. Component manufacturers are eking out additional production. They'll take years for major foundries to significantly increase chip capacity. Smartphone brands are already innovating to make the most of their circumstances, tweaking device specs in response to available materials, approaching emerging chip makers to secure new sources for ICs, focusing product lines on the best-selling models, and staggering new product releases. These practices lend an advantage to larger brands, and they are set to stay for the short term as bottlenecks will not ease until the second half of 2022.
Oh, it's going to be way longer than that.
Yepper. All right, other news this week. Brian Chesky is going on the road. He said he's the CEO of starting today, I'm living on Airbnb. He said this in a tweet on Tuesday. This week I'm in Atlanta. I'll be coming back to San Francisco often, but for now my home will be an Airbnb somewhere. In his thread, Chesky said the pandemic and the rise in remote work has allowed millions of people to live and work from anywhere. Sure. He highlighted company data from the past year showing that half of the nights booked on Airbnb's platform were for stays longer than a week. Roughly a fifth of nights booked work for stays of longer than a month, and about 100,000
Wow.
Airbnb users have booked stays of 3 months or longer. He also said,
What?
yeah. He also said,
That's
quote,
wild.
I know.
I'm
He
just
also-
going to move to Costa Rica for a quarter. What? Interestingly, I say that because my marketing director did exactly that.
Okay.
Maybe maybe he's one of those weird statistics. Should ask him.
Right. He also says, quote, this trend is kind of like a decentralization of living. It's changing the identity of travel. Chesky also said his journeys will help the company better understand the customer experience and make improvements. And I think that we talked about this in prior episode before we featured an Airbnb where they're losing money. So maybe I think that he's putting himself out there as probably like, wants to be like an undercover boss.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like to try to get like what he sees in the experience in the customer's eyes. And I think that he's trying to like, save face, like, whoa, we're not doing that very well. So let me put myself out there as a CEO and see how good things really are.
Oh, so this is interesting.
You see what I'm saying? Does that make sense?
Yes. And so the thing I'm finding interesting is I just opened the Airbnb app, which I was in very recently because that was how we booked our stay for the CES that didn't happen.
Right.
And there are now 3 options. There used to be 2. Find a place to stay and find an experience. There is now a middle one. Find a monthly stay. Stays for 4+ weeks. They have literally added a monthly option into the app.
Interesting.
So, yeah, definitely interesting.
Yeah, I think that, I still believe that he's like with Airbnb not doing well. That's where I think that's the reason why he's doing that. I think that, but I think too that he should have done this way before, when they realize they're losing money and, they have to find creative ways, pandemic or no, creative ways to, to put themselves in a positive light. I think that's why he's doing this. I think he's trying to be like an undercover boss, and, because most CEOs will not just like, do that. I mean, you see undercover boss, I've seen some of their episodes, but a lot of corporations and CEOs, want to put their finger on the pulse on what's going on. So,
right. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So
it's interesting. The price of an entire month in Vegas, by the way. Continue.
You got how much per month?
So if you want an MGM signature penthouse strip condo, $2,864 for the whole month.
2,000. Wow.
I mean, if you work that down, that's less than $100 a day. That's less than the price of the Plaza, and this is a full condo with a kitchen and everything.
Actually,
under normal circumstances, I apologize.
Right.
The Plaza under normal circumstances this year was different because they were desperate to get people in.
Right. Yeah, I was going to say, because I spent $400.
If you consider that we normally do, it's normally $99 a night for a hotel room at the Plaza during CES. And this is $2,864 for the entire month for a strip view condo.
Actually, I think this year was $440. And 2020, I think I spent $1,000. Yeah, it was $1,000 for that week.
Yeah. See?
Yeah. Wow. Wait. Interesting. All right.
Here's a unit for $1,694 for the month.
Wow. To be honest, I never tried. I remember you spent. You use Airbnb. How are there, I guess, not rooms, but houses and all that?
So we stayed in one in Toronto. Oh, that was nice. Now we didn't. Oh yeah, we did use the Airbnb for that. It was really nice. It was a townhouse, multi-level, and it was a townhouse. And that's the thing, right? You're not renting a hotel room, you're renting a home. In this case, I'm looking at condos on the strip. That's very different than renting a hotel room, because you've got a full kitchen, you've got a living room, you've got all these things that aren't a hotel. And so they're like these are comparable to, say, a suite at a hotel. And you're getting a suite at a hotel for less than $100 a night. That's not bad.
Well, that's not bad.
You're not even going to do that at a Holiday Inn suite at a. Ooh.
No, that was me. Sorry.
Okay, I heard myself for a second.
That was me. That was me.
So it's interesting.
Yeah, maybe I have to check it out one of these days. Maybe, I don't know, but we'll see. All right. Next up, now there's some news floating around that Apple is planning on launching a brand new product category in the form of headsets. The company is expected to first debut a mixed reality headset, which now, according to a report from Mark Gurman's Power On newsletter, could cost a lot of money. The report is claiming that Apple has discussed price points for the upcoming headset where it might end up costing customers over $2,000 to own one. However, there might be
surprise me.
Yeah, however, there might be a good reason for that, because according to Gurman, Apple's mixed reality headset is expected to be quite a beast in terms of performance. Apparently, it'll feature the use of two processors that are said to be on par with the M1 Pro chipset that Apple debuted in the MacBook Pros in 2021, and they'll also feature 8K display panels along with quote advanced audio technology. They're saying that Apple has introduced spatial audio in its Airpods. Not being surprising if the company was already trying to set the stage for what's to come. It should be noted that a report from last week indicated the headset could be delayed and could instead launch in 2023 instead of this year, as was previously rumored.
Now, when you look at the price and take into consideration that this guy, the HoloLens, has a retail price of $3,500.
Wow.
If you can get it anywhere under this, and it's got the computer built in, right? Because that's the thing that sets the HoloLens apart from basically anybody else that's out there, including the Magic Leap and all that, is this is a full Windows 10 computer sitting in my hand. As opposed to, some other things that are not so much that. But, if that's what they're doing here, if this is essentially going to be an M1 Pro powered computer on your face, okay, I think we can justify the price, because what they're doing is insane. And obviously I'm super proud of this thing. I love the HoloLens. But if Apple wants to compete, good. Let's bring more of this stuff to market.
Yeah, I that's a little out of my price range, but it'd be interesting to see more of these companies. I mean, it's been rumored for quite some time. So
yeah, they've been working on it for a while. It's confirmed that they're working on them because we've seen job listings for people on the product. So for sure it's coming. There's no doubt about that. But yeah, $2,000's a lot of money, but this thing's $1,400,
right?
And this I can't put on my face.
Well, look at that.
Yeah,
maybe let's do a screenshot of that.
But you know what I mean. This is $1,400. So if they can take this, pull the screen off of it, put the computer back here, essentially, right, and then put two 8K displays for the AR side of things, that's awesome. I mean, that's going to be an amazing product, because this thing is far from that.
Right.
So I'd love to see it. I think we all know my position generally on Apple. I actually think they're not doing weird price gouging on this one because the technology that they're talking about is insane. It's not a $8 million pair of headphones or
No, by
whatever
no
that
means.
stupid thing was.
Right. All right. So, again, as I mentioned, I'm going to call an audible because we're running really, really long.
Those headphones should have come with an Airbnb.
Right. And that should have been our title. I just thought of that just now. All right, whatever. All right. So there's a lot of plenty of stuff that was going to be supposed to be in the episode. For example, with there's stuff about a story about Google's about Sunday Pichai, Mark Zuckerberg signing off on an illegal advertising deal. There's a story about Democrats are introducing a bill that will ban nearly all use of digital advertising. Yes.
What?
There's it's a Democrats are introducing a bill that would ban nearly all use of digital advertising targeting on ad markets hosted by platforms like Facebook, Google, and other data brokers. It's called the Banning Surveillance Advertising Act.
That will end the internet.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That is the end of the internet as we know it.
Yeah. So you know, government's good in some ways, and sometimes it takes us away. There's also a story about Amazon is being sued by the family about the person who died in the warehouse tornado last month.
As well, they should be.
Absolutely.
This deserves to have a day in court, even if it turns out that Amazon didn't do anything wrong. It should be in front of a jury.
Right. Also, there's rumors flying around about the Samsung's Galaxy S22 Ultra. A lot of information about that. So
the end of the Note brand.
Yep.
Rest in peace, Galaxy Note.
Right. They haven't had one in 2020. So yeah, all the stories are in the show notes for this episode. All right. So finally, I always say that, and finally, this story, like, again, this blew up all over social media. So if for those on news of the podcast, when I pull stories and I try to find something in the end or and finally segment, usually it's involving food and tech. So this is food. It's sort of tech, but it's basically, it blew up all over social media and news outlets. So it counts as tech. So this gentleman by name of William Cronin, he was eating at a Cracker Barrel in Marion County, Tennessee in April 2014. Excuse me. He was served a cup of ice water by a Cracker Barrel employee. As soon as Cronin took a sip of the drink, however, his mouth and throat began to burn. This is from CNN. As it turned out, the water, excuse me, the water served to Cronin was tainted with a corrosive cleaning solution called Ecosan, which can cause severe burns on contact if ingested. The product can lead to severe digestive tract burns. This is according to the manufacturer safety information. The sip that he had left him with permanent debilitating physical injuries for which he is still under medical treatment and which have negatively impacted his earning capacity and employment in juvenile life. This is from the court documents from the Chattanooga Times Free Press. Now, apparently, it's a course where Cracker Barrel soaks these dispensing parts overnight in Ecosan, which is appropriate. However, in this case, an employee used a water pitcher to soak the parts in Ecosan.
It's idiotic.
Right. And so the next morning, restaurant staffers allegedly failed to clean out the pitcher and then used it to dispense waters coming from Mr. Greer or Mr. Cronin's attorney. So the fact that Cracker Barrel had at the time endorsed the storage of chemicals in unmarked containers swayed jurors to award significant punitive damages to Mr. Cronin in addition to direct and consequential damages. So what is Cracker Barrel paying up? So he suffered permanent drink disabling injuries in April 2014 when he was served tainted water at Marion County, Tennessee Cracker Barrel. When he initially filed his lawsuit against Cracker Barrel in 2015, he sought $150,000 in damages. But his attorney made such a compelling case about the egregious of Cracker Barrel's company policy of storing chemicals in unmarked containers, including the water pitcher in question, that a judge ordered Cracker Barrel to pay $5 million in punitive damages, as well as $4.3 million in compensatory damages.
Wow.
So the damage,
It's a
compensatory
lot
damages,
more than 150 grand.
yeah. Moreover, compensatory damages are damages that address both direct economic, example, medical bills, and indirect losses, example, reduced capacity to earn a living, suffered as a result of defendant's bad acts. This according to O'Dwyer and Bernstein. Punitive damages are intended to both punish and affect future change. In levying punitive damages, the jury was swayed by the, quote, objectionable nature of the incident, as well as Cracker Barrel's, quote, awareness of the amount of harm being caused, and its, quote, unwillingness to fix a problem or offer a prompt, quote, a prompt and fair settlement. This is from court documents. Cracker Barrel expresses disappointment at verdict, and Greer believes, or his attorney believes, that an appeal will be forthcoming. So,
of course there will.
Mm-hmm. So basically this blew up. Again, this blew up all over social media, on Twitter, and I believe Facebook. In fact, Christopher Jordan posted it as well. So, so I picked it up.
That sounds about right. That sounds like a Chris Jordan story.
Yeah. So when I saw that, but then not only did I see that, but it was on my Twitter feed, all week. So I had to pull it. So, like, again, it's food. Like I said, with our and finally segment, it's something weird, unique, different, funny. There's a lot of funny stuff that we had in our last segment, but this one was. This is not funny. This is very, very serious. It's very serious. So I wish him, hopefully he gets well, and hopefully he doesn't. And I'm pretty sure he will not go to a Cracker Barrel again after that.
Yeah.
All right. So with that. Excuse me, that is tech news. We're really long, which is great because, again, it's a 100 episode, so we're going to go 2 hours. I'm happy with it. Give you a recap of 2020 CS 2022. Got some tech news and the giveaway. So that is tech news for this week, for Friday, January 21st, 2022. Thank you so much for tuning in for this week's episode. Show notes from this episode can be found at gncweekly.com. Also, be sure to check out the latest tech news and commentary. Make sure I have my right here, and I'll play my music, which I love. I'm sorry, I love this music. Let me back up. Also, be sure to check out the latest tech news and commentary from geeknewscentral.com. And be sure to tune in Mondays and Thursday evenings at geeknewscentral.com/live for the Geek News Central podcast. And then be sure to watch and tune in at gncweekly.com/live Friday evenings, 8 p.m. Eastern Time. Also, last chance, don't forget about our giveaway, which can be found at gncweekly.com/giveaway. The sweepstakes will be from now till February 4th at 11:09 p.m. Eastern Time, and we will pick out our winner on a Friday, February 4th episode. So good luck to all that enter. And as always,
do it on the episode.
It
won't be closed yet.
Okay,
we'll
so
have to do it the next week.
So it'll be Friday, February
11th.
Friday, February 11th. Right. Friday, February 11th. Okay. So Friday, February 11th, we will we'll have a winner. So good luck to all that enter, and everything's can be found on how to enter and to follow, share, like, etc. Make sure to include all that, including your email, and also as well your mailing address. And also your shirt size as well. So we'll send it out. All right. And as always, if you are new to podcasts, be sure to like and subscribe to the GNCWR channel on YouTube. Also, excuse me, please make sure to click on the bell and always select notifications so you will not miss the next episode. Also, be sure to share this episode with people that you know. Check out the podcast as well. Also, be sure to subscribe to this podcast on your favorite podcast app. And be sure to tune in to F5 Live, Refreshing Technology with Scott and Avram Pilch. Sunday evenings at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. Be at f5live.tv/join us, or be sure to subscribe to the podcast on your favorite podcast app. Comments on this week's episode, we'll love to hear them. Head on over to gncweekly.com/connect and connect via email, Twitter, or Facebook. I'm on Twitter. I'm at Kirk Corliss. Scott is on Twitter at TTMABO. Till the next episode of GNC Week in Review. So long.
Ciao.